Hi, I'm Bianca from All About Beads, and today I'm going to show you how to make beaded tassel earrings. In this video I'm going to make ones the same as these with just seed beads. I've just put these out just to show you can mix up what beads you put in them. Like these ones here, I've used seed beads, some bugle and some little 2mm crystal beads, and here I've just used different colour seed beads, so pretty much you can put whatever you want in them. What I'm using is a size B Nemo thread, and I've just got a bit of wax here that I'm going to run the thread through just to condition it. I've got 22 gauge craft wire, a size 10 beading needle, 2 cone ends, a couple of little metal beads, a pair of ear wires, and I'm using size 11 check seed beads. The first thing you need to do is cut a piece of Nemo thread about 120 centimeters. When you cut your thread, it is going to depend how long you cut it to how many tassels that you're going to do. So on these ones here, I've done 7 tassels and they're about 5 centimeters long, so I'll need about 120 centimeters of thread. So if you're doing more tassels, you'll need more thread, or if you're doing less thread. So just with my wax, I'm just going to run that through. And just thread my needle. Okay, once you've threaded your needle, you need to cut a piece of craft wire about 8 centimeters. Using round nose pliers, I'm just going to create a basic loop. So going about 3 centimeters down your craft wire, you need to make this loop quite small because it's got to sit up inside the cone end. So just going right to towards the end of your round nose, just doing a 90-degree turn, and then pop your tool on top of that turn, pulling the wire over. And then I'm just going to wrap this short piece around the stem of the wire. And just trim off if you've got any extra there. Okay. So just taking your needle and just take it through the eye of the loop. And you want to leave yourself about a 15 centimeter tail. The next thing you want to do is pick up your seed beads. So I'm going to put enough seed beads on until it's 5 centimeters of seed beads. Okay, once you've strung your beads on, just check the length. So I need one more seed bead and then I've got 5 centimeters. You can make this however short or long that you want. I'm doing mine at 5 centimeters. That's just a length that I like to wear. Okay, once you've got them on, just stringing them down towards the eye of the eye pin. And then what you're going to do is skipping that very last seed bead you put on and taking the needle back through all those seed beads. And then I'm just going to pull them all up so they're all sitting up near the loop of the eye pin. Okay, so we've just put this tassel on. So on the same side that your beads are, you're taking the needle again through that loop. And then again picking up 5 centimeters of your seed beads. Okay, once you've picked up all your seed beads, just checking the length. So I've got 5 centimeters there. And again, you're doing the same thing, so you're going to missing that last seed bead you put on and take your needle through all those beads. And again, you just want to pull them all up so they're sitting near the loop of the eye pin. When you pull your thread, don't pull it too tight. You don't want to make the tension too tight, or then your tassels won't sit nice. So here we've got 2 of our tassels done, and the thread's not pulled too tight because you want them to sit nice and not stiff and all sticking out when you're wearing them. So again, we've got the last tassel we just put on this side. So from the same side, we're taking our needle through the eye of the eye pin. And you're just continuing this until you've got however many tassels that you want. So you're just putting on 5 centimeters, missing the very last bead, going back through the needle, and whatever side your work's on is the side you go through the eye, the loop on your eye pin. Okay, once you've added all the tassels that you want, so this is my last tassel here that I added. So again, I'm just going to take my needle through that little eye, the loop. Before I finish it off, I'm just going to check that they fit inside my cone end okay. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, the next thing we need to do is get our needle, and we're going to start doing some knots just to secure it all. So what you want to do is, on any of the threads on one of the tassels, it doesn't really matter which one, just taking your thread underneath your needle, underneath one of the threads, pulling it through. You want to just pull it until you've got a small loop. Take the needle through that loop and then just pulling that tight. So you want to do this about 3 or 4 times on different threads. So underneath one of the threads, okay, there's my small loop, just taking my needle through that loop. I'll just do one more. Okay, and then with our needle, I'm just going to take it down one of the tassels, doesn't really matter which one. So just going down a few of the beads, and then I'm just going to cut off whatever extra thread I have left. And then I'm going to do the same thing again with the little tail end, so just threading my needle onto the tail end. Sometimes it helps just to put a little bit of your wax through it. That stops it from fraying when you're trying to thread your needle. Okay, so just going under some of the threads until I've got a small loop. Take my needle through the loop and pull a knot. And again, I'm just going to take this down through one of the tassels, through some of the beads, and just trimming off the extra thread. Okay, so there's our tassel done. So just threading on your cone end, and then just to finish it off, I'm just going to put on one of my seed beads, one of the little metal beads, and another seed bead. Using round nose tools, I'm going to create a wrap loop. So just directly above that last seed bead, just grabbing onto it, doing a 90-degree turn, popping my tool on top of the wire, pulling it around to create a little loop. And then with the stem, just wrapping that down. So I just wrap it down until it meets up with that seed bead. Just cutting off the extra. If you've got a little bit sticking up, just using your flat nose, just pushing it down so it doesn't stick out. Now all we've got to do is attach that to our ear wire. So on your ear wire, just opening up the loop, attach your tassel and close it up again. And that's it. Our tassel earring's done, so you can just go ahead and do the exact same thing for your other one. Thank you for watching.